Good for the most part. Of course, about 48 hours after the game is when I really start to feel in my body how it actually went down on Sunday. There's a lot of energy, and heck, I can't even sleep the night after games usually just because my mind is racing. But yeah, about 48 hours after the game, it kind of set in how it was actually feeling. So,
what was it like during the game?
During the game was good for the most part. I didn't notice it all too much, except, of course, lugging around the big brace.
Yeah. Did you feel any limitations compared to what you're usually able to do?
No, I felt like I was, able to protect myself. I was planting in the ground pretty well, reaching for all my cuts, and I thought it went pretty well for the most part.
How was the extra week come with getting used to the brace?
Yeah, it was nice. Just like I mentioned to you before, just honing in on my reps that I was taking, just making the most of those, but also spending a lot of time in the training room just trying to make the thing feel better.
Have you always been a non-sleeper after games? Has that always been part of your routine?
No, I try to sleep. But actually falling asleep is another story. You rerun the game in your head so many times, at least I do, and I think that's how a lot of guys feel, just the emotion and the energy, and of course it's like 1 a.m. And by the time you get home, you're just like, oh my gosh, I should have been in bed 3 hours ago, but it's just not how it works.
Head coach referred to voodoo getting you ready to play last. Can you explain just kind of what the 24/7 regimen was like for you last week to get out there?
Of course, there was most hours of my day were either filled with watching film, doing rehab, or here inside the building. So it was long days, and I give a lot of credit to the training room and all those athletic trainers that put in a lot of time, and they have early hours, and they helped me out quite a bit last week.
What was that? Just being out there, that atmosphere obviously was electric. Can you even imagine what it will be this week with a chance now for the NFC Championship game on the line and everything else?
Right. I think it'll be just like last week and maybe a little bit more crazy. Every week, the fans have really shown up at Ford Field. So all year long, they've done a tremendous job helping us out. It's my pleasure to sit back on the bench when the defense is out there and just look at the decibel level go up and up when they're out there. So it's always a really cool thing to watch.
Can you even hear yourself think or talk on the sideline when the defense is out there and the fans are going as crazy as they've been going?
Yeah, it's hard to talk to somebody next to you on the bench when they're going crazy like that, let alone actually hear a play call in the huddle from the quarterback. So I can imagine what the huddle is like for the other team, always.
You guys didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs, you didn't have Jonah Jackson, didn't have Branch and C.J. Gardner-Johnson the first time you played these guys. Just talk about getting some reinforcements back. They're a different team, but you're a different team as well too, right?
Yeah, I think when was that, week 6, week 7? That's like light years ago, to be honest. Both teams have grown so much since then, and of course you can look at the tape from across the season and just dial in what they've done a little bit differently and help you implement that into your game plan and the things that you're going to do differently.
How do they look different from the last matchup?
Obviously, like you said, the reinforcements are certainly going to help, but just honing in on the things that you can do throughout the week. How can I make my first step a little bit better? How can I create the separation that I didn't create in the last game? We're just dialing in on the film and then looking how other teams have done that most recently, throughout late December and then their last playoff game last week against the Eagles, just analyzing all that film.
What makes you guys so dangerous in the red zone, do you think? You guys are number 3 offense in the red zone, but they're the number 3 defense too, so obviously important matchup there, but what makes you guys in particular something in the red zone, I think?
I think it's the volume of players that we have that can get into the end zone. Obviously, a great duo in David and Jahmyr, the 1-2 combo there. The Saint, Josh, Leaf combination. The tight ends, I feel like, are always great in the red zone, the bigger bodies. So we certainly have a lot of people that are able to get into the end zone and just spread the ball around.
Hey, do you get recognized around town yet? And have you had any interactions in the past month or so where you've realized how much this team means to this town, how much the fans have embraced you?
I get recognized here and there. This time of year, it's kind of nice. You can maybe keep your hood up or put a beanie on. Not that it's not cool to be noticed and just interact with fans and such, but sometimes you got to get from point A to point B. So I don't think I have any stories from as of recently. Yeah.
Couple more guys. Name floating around for head coaching interviews. Just what has it been like working with him this season?
Yeah, he's phenomenal, an absolute man. He's just so creative. He's such an intellect. Just being able to learn the game from him as a young young guy in this league. It's just a tremendous opportunity for me to work with Ben, and if he moves on, that's great for him. You know, every man for themselves. He's got to do what's best for him and his family. So it's been great to learn from him and continue to progress through the rest of the season.
Sam.